You are listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report, episode 194.2, our boys basketball local sectional preview show for sectionals at Kokomo, Carmel, Muncie Central, Bellmont, Logansport, Newcastle, Wabash, Frankton, Blackford, Clinton Central, Southwood, and Purdue Broad Ripple, with interviews with Madison-Grant head coach Josh Hendrixson, Hamilton Heights head coach Chad Ballenger, Western head coach Cam Bennington, Oak Hill head coach Kevin Renbarger, Lapel head coach Kevin Cherry, and Blackford head coach Aaron Daniels.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengelt.
Welcome, basketball fans, to our boys basketball local sectional preview. We're going to take a quick look at all of the sectionals that we consider our local sectionals, plus a couple others in the region that should be interesting. Those sectionals are Kokomo, Carmel, Muncie Central, Bellmont, Logansport, Newcastle, Wabash, Frankton, Blackford, Clinton Central, Southwood, and Purdue Broad Ripple. 3 from each class, making 12 total. Today is March 4th, 2025. It's a Tuesday, so it's another day for the Central Indiana Sports Report. I'm your host, Greg Mengelt, and I love Central Indiana sports. Coming to you today from Stage 22 in beautiful Elwood, Indiana. Producer Susie is in the control room at headquarters in Jeffersonville. Coming up, I'll update you on all the local sectionals, and we'll hear from several head coaches. Every one of the interviews are snippets from longer team sectional preview shows that we'll be releasing at 10 a.m., 11 a.m., and noon on Tuesday, in batches by whether the team's postseason journey begins Tuesday, Wednesday, or Friday. But before we get to the sectional fields and all the head coaches, please go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just search Central Indiana Sports Report. It is easy to find. We are in need of supporters and could really use your help. Coming up this week, we'll have our boys sectional scoreboard shows on Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday mornings, and the daily report every day at 1. It's our Sports Center style scoreboard show with high school and college sports in Blackford, Delaware, Grant, Howard, Madison, Tipton, and Northern Hamilton counties. Plus news on the Colts, Pacers, IndyCar, IU, and Purdue, and national sports when it merits the attention of Central Indiana sports fans. We kick off our sectional preview in Class 4A, and we're going to start with the sectionals number 7 and just go right down the list from there. Sectional 7 is at Kokomo. The sectional doesn't start until Friday. Lafayette Jeff is probably considered the favorite. They are 20-3. Kokomo is the defending champion. They are 16-7. If you had to make a bet, those would be the two teams in the final, but both Harrison and McCutcheon are capable of beating their opponent in round 1. Class 4A Sectional 8 is at Carmel, and it's a good one. Fishers is the best team in the state. Whether they can prove it throughout the tournament is another question. Fishers is 24-0 on the season, and they opened the postseason against 18-3 and third-ranked Westfield. That game is at 7:30 on Tuesday night. That is going to be a good one. 12-12 Zionsville will play the winner of that one. Zionsville actually played Fishers really well in the regular season. In the first game on Tuesday, it's Carmel versus Noblesville. Noblesville 17-5, Carmel 10-12. But the sectional is at Carmel. That should be a good one. The winner plays 13-11 Hamilton Southeastern. Every team in the sectional is pretty good. Fishers is really good. 4A Sectional 9 is at the Muncie Central Fieldhouse, one of the best arenas in the state to watch a sectional. Of course, Class 4A number 2 Greenfield Central is the favorite in this one. Their team features the great Braylon Mullins, who's headed for UConn in the fall. But number 5 Anderson and number 15 Mount Vernon also have to like their chances going into the tournament. The sectional starts on Tuesday at 6 o'clock with Mount Vernon versus Richmond. Mount Vernon 17-5, Richmond 7-14. Luke Ertl and the Marauders expected to get out of that one. Game 2 is 21-3 Greenfield Central against 9-14 Pendleton Heights. Greenfield Central a heavy favorite in that one. The winner of that one will play against Muncie Central at 7:30 on Friday after the winner of Mount Vernon Richmond against 21-2 Anderson. One of those two losses by Anderson actually came against Mount Vernon earlier this season. Should be a great sectional. Anderson's last sectional championship came in 2009. Greenfield Central's last came in 1998. The Cougars lost to New Pal in the sectional championship last year. Anderson lost to Greenfield Central in the first round. By the way, Sectional 7 at Kokomo and Sectional 8 at Carmel are in the north half of the state. Sectional 9 at Muncie Central is in the south. All three of our Class 3A sectionals are in the north of the state, starting with Sectional 22 at Bellmont, where Marion is considered the favorite going in, although New Haven and Norwell are both very good, and Mississinawa is capable. The sectional starts on Tuesday with 9-13 Mississinawa against 11-11 Norwell. That should be a really good one. Then in the second game on Tuesday, Marion should beat Bellmont to move to Friday's semifinal game against 12-10 Heritage. Marion should win that one as well. It'll be a tough game for 13-10 New Haven, whether they play Mississinawa or Norwell. But that New Haven Marion game should be really good if that comes to fruition. In Sectional 23 at Logansport, defending champion West Lafayette probably has to be considered a slight favorite. Mechaniqua, however, is probably on the exact same level as the Red Devils. Mechaniqua is 17-5 on the season. West Lafayette 17-6. Mechaniqua was the Three Rivers Conference champion this year. However, they lost to Oak Hill in the first round of the sectional last year. Western, Northwestern, and Peru also have to be considered outside contenders, especially with Peru drawing a side of the bracket with Twin Lakes and Logansport. They should probably be expected to get through there, although, again, that side of the bracket is pretty much a toss-up as well. Pretty much any combination in the championship game would not be that stunning. Western went from 5 wins last year to 13 this year, and I asked Western head coach Cam Bennington about his team's improvements throughout this season.
Yeah, I think we found a lot of balance and a lot of depth as the season went on. At the beginning of the year, I really knew who our key leaders were going to be in terms of scoring. And Carter Biggs, I knew he was going to have a big year, and having Sam Thurston and Hudson Biggs as seniors, I knew they were going to play pivotal roles, but I didn't know where all of our scoring was really going to come from. And as the year went on, Carter had a phenomenal year and is averaging about 15 points a game. But then when you look at our averages, you got guys averaging 9, 8, 7, 7, 6 points per game, and just the amount of balance we were able to sustain throughout the season was really, really surprising, and I think helped us along the way become a better team. And then the other part of it is that something that I necessarily didn't think was going to be the case coming into the season was that this team really found their identity on the defensive end of the floor and was a team that really bought into playing elite defense and holding teams below their averages and looking at how many points. This isn't something that I talk about as a coach, but the kids all the time love to talk about, well, this guy averages this many points and he only got this many on us, or as a team they're scoring this many points and they only got this, or this is what they're shooting from the field and we held them to this. Our kids kind of fell in love with the numbers and the analytics of playing elite defense as well, and that was really, really fun to be a part of, to see your kids and see the wheels start to turn in their minds and see them fall in love with the preparation side of things and become an elite on the defensive end of the floor. And that's something that really surprised me but made this season a lot of fun.
To the 3A sectional at Newcastle, the famed Chrysler Arena. Delta is the 2-time sectional and regional champion. They also got a pretty good draw, so they have to be considered the favorites in this one. However, Hamilton Heights has to like its chances going into the tournament as well. Newcastle has struggled a bit down the stretch, but they also have to like their chances going into the postseason. The sectional starts with 13-9 Jay County against 6-16 Yorktown. The winner of that will play 14-7 Delta. Like I said, two-time reigning champion on Friday at 6 o'clock. Tuesday at 7:30, it'll be Hamilton Heights, which is 14-8 against 9-14 Connersville. Hamilton Heights should win that one, but that's no guarantee. The winner of that will play the host Trojans, who are 8-14 and have lost 5 games in a row down the stretch. The championship game is at 7 o'clock on Saturday. I asked Hamilton Heights head coach Chad Ballenger if he believes his team can win what looks like a wide open sectional.
I do. I mean, obviously, it's been a while. We've been so close, as we talked about earlier. Just we've been right there, and we can't get over the hump in those sectional finals. But God, we're hungry. As I've said, I think our kids, can taste it. But as we were talking, we're all 0-0. Records don't matter right now. Your body of work doesn't matter. Everything's best of one, and doesn't matter who you're playing. And I told our kids before we left tonight, I said, tomorrow night, after our game or after, on our way home, we're going to look up and there's going to be some really good teams sitting at home. There's going to be upsets.
That's right.
That's what makes the Indiana basketball so special. I said, we just got to take care of business, and scores don't matter. I said, during the year we get caught up in defensive averages and points and, all these goals. But I said, at the end of the night, starting now, we need to win by 1 point. And that's all that matters, is survive and advance and move on, and don't get caught up and get selfish about points and things like that. Just get caught up in doing our job and doing the right things, and we'll be just fine.
We move to Class 2A, and we have teams in sectionals 38, 39, and 40. All are in the north. Sectional 38 is at Wabash, where Class 2A, number 4, Manchester, is the favorite in this one. Manchester is 20-2. Second best team in the sectional is on the other side of the bracket, and that is 16-6 Oak Hill. Manchester beat Oak Hill handily early in the season. That looks like it should be the sectional championship game, although Manchester would have to go through Rochester first, and that will not be an easy one. The sectional starts at Wabash on Tuesday at 6 o'clock, featuring 16-5 Rochester against 10-12 Eastern. Then at 7:30, it's 5-17 Cass against 0-22 Wabash. 22 Manchester will play most likely Rochester, but also could be Eastern at 6 o'clock on Friday. And 16-6 Oak Hill will face either Lewis Cass or Wabash. The championship game is Saturday at 7:30. I spoke with Oak Hill head coach Kevin Renbarger, who said the final 2 weeks of the regular season went about as well as it could have gone.
Yeah, we've had really 2 pretty good weeks of play here. Even though we lost to Tipton, I thought we played pretty well. We just shot, badly, especially from the 3-point line. I think we're 3 of 16 from the 3-point line. Played really good defense, and I just thought overall played well. We finished our conference play with Elwood, and I thought played well. But then the last week was just tremendous. Going over to Northwestern, didn't get off to a great start. And then coming back and winning that basketball game. And then I thought put pretty much 3 quarters, the third quarter coming out of the halftime was not great. We probably would have been better served if there was no halftime, the way we played that first half against Delta. Easily the best half of basketball that we've played all year. So, I don't think I could have asked anything, a better scenario or asked anything better out of our kids than what we've done the last 2 weeks here.
Class 2A sectional 39 is at Frankton. This sectional has 5 teams with at least 15 wins, including Lapel, which has won 12 games in a row, Frankton, which has won 11 games in a row, and Tipton, which is the reigning sectional champion. The sectional starts on Tuesday with a big one, 16-7 Taylor against 16-6 Tipton. Then Tuesday at 7:30, it'll be 5-18 Elwood against the 15-8 host Frankton Eagles. Friday at 6, it'll be 16-5 Sheridan against Tipton or Taylor, and 18-5 Lapel against Frankton or Elwood. The championship game is Saturday at 7:30. I talked with Lapel head coach Kevin Cherry about his team's chances of winning the sectional at Frankton, and he said it certainly will not be easy against this field.
We have to kind of expect the unexpected. There's upsets along the tournament trail. There's just crazy things that happens. So you've really got to be prepared for just about any type of scenario. But ultimately, at the end of the day, that's why we've played the schedule we've played, trying to get ourselves ready for the postseason tournament, and here we are. So I like the way our team's playing. I like our chemistry, and we'll see what happens this week.
Class 2A Sectional 40 is at Blackford, and that's where the number one team in Class 2A resides. And that, of course, is 22-1 Wapahani. They were the semi-state champions last year, and they opened the sectional against 14-8 Eastbrook, which has won 8 of its last 9, including a couple of big wins over Blackford and Oak Hill. The second game on Tuesday, it's 10-12 Madison-Grant against 2-20 Burris. Madison-Grant just beat Burris by 24 points less than 2 weeks ago. 14-9 Blackford, the CIC champions, will take on either Eastbrook or Wapahani. Either way, that should be a really good game. And 7-16 Alexandria will likely play Madison-Grant, a rematch of a game that was 70-65 Madison-Grant again just a couple of weeks ago. Wapahani is the favorite in this one, but at least 5 of the 6 teams have to like their chances of making a run to the sectional championship game. I spoke with Blackford head coach Aaron Daniels, who enters the sectional as head coach for the first time. He said he's looking forward to his first one, especially with it being at home.
I'll tell you what I like. For me, it's all about the kids. And the sectional is such a really unique experience from, whether it be going on Saturday to go practice at a venue and all of the things that comes with the prep. And when you get the bye like this, we get to enjoy that for a full week. So we get all those different festivities and things, for 5 days. And then we were able to give the kids off a day over the weekend that you normally don't get. So we get, 6 days to prepare for whoever it's going to be, on Friday night and work on the things that we want to work on. And we let the kids, we get them to continue in this, the sectional. We get to watch on Tuesday night and soak up that atmosphere and different things. And I know a lot of people will tell you they don't like the having the bye because they want to play on Tuesday night or different things. But we like it. We like where we're at. And we're like that we can give these kids an experience. I think I mentioned last time, we don't have a kid on the roster that's won a sectional game. So for us to be able to take that in on a Tuesday night and take in the atmosphere and be prepared on Friday, we're looking forward to it. We're excited about where we're at and what the draw was.
I also spoke with Madison-Grant head coach Josh Hendrixson. He said his team has to guard against looking past Burris, but he doesn't think that will be an issue.
These kids are teenagers. They know they beat this team by 24 just a week ago, and they think, they might think we just walk in there and we're going to do that again. It's our job as coaches to make sure that thought is the furthest thing from their mind when we head into practice, and then we head into the game tomorrow.
One of the best first-round games in any of the sectionals is at Class A Sectional 54 at Clinton Central, and that is number 4 Clinton Prairie against number 10 Carroll. Clinton Prairie is the favorite heading into this at 20-2. Carroll's 18-4. Those two teams meet Wednesday at 7:30. That's after 1-21 Clinton Central against 15-7 Frontier. The only game on Tuesday night with the winner facing 7-15 Traders Point Christian. The Carroll Clinton Prairie winner will likely play 15-8 Rossville, but 7-14 Bethesda Christian, also capable of pulling off a win. The sectional championship game is scheduled for 7 o'clock on Saturday. The sectional 55 field at Southwood is an 8-team field, and it has literally 7 of the 8 teams have to believe that they can win this sectional. It starts on Tuesday with 2 games, the 2 winners playing each other Friday in the semifinal round. It's 11-11 host Southwood against 9-13 Northfield, and 7-14 Cowan against 8-14 North Miami. A couple of pretty much toss-ups there. And on Wednesday, the two quarterfinals. Again, the winners play each other in Friday's second semifinal. 6-15 Daleville against 9-13 Tri Central. And it's 9-12 Westdale against 1-20 Southern Wells. The championship game is scheduled for 7:30 on Saturday. And our Class A sectional that's in the South is Sectional 57 at Purdue Broad Ripple. Liberty Christian is the favorite in the top of the bracket. Anderson Prep is the favorite in the bottom of the bracket. Probably the biggest obstacle for either one is Indianapolis Tinley. Tuesday starts with Tinley against 13-10 Indiana Math and Science, followed by the defending regional champion Liberty Christian Lions, who are 14-8 against 5-14 MTI Knowledge. It would be stunning if it's not Liberty Christian against Tinley. And Wednesday at 6, it's International against Purdue Broad Ripple. Likely be International against 18-5 Anderson Prep, a team or a program whose record for wins in a season before this year was 6. Right now they're on an 8-game winning streak heading into the sectional. The Jets have never won a sectional game, but face Indiana Def in the first round and just beat them by more than 50 points. So they should get their first win ever Wednesday. And I will be out at Anderson Prep on Tuesday to interview Coach Fathauer, Coach King, and the Jets. And we will bring that to you first thing on Wednesday morning. Thank you so much to all the coaches who joined the Central Indiana Sports Report to talk about their team's postseasons. And thank you for listening. We always appreciate it. Please go subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you'd like to see us grow and thrive, we need it to spread by word of mouth. Please tell your friends and family. Thank you so much. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media, and I love Susie.